Hello, I'm Jim Manning, the author of Patriotism, Unhinged, on sale worldwide through online retailers. While I have you, I'm going to ask you, if you've got the book, please review it. It's very important. We'd like to get as many books out there as we can. The books are out there, people are learning, and that's what I'm after. Not being a writer, I'm new to this, and I'm learning. A well-reviewed book gets increased circulation. So now I'm asking people to do that if they have the time. What I'm going to talk about right now is the Central Intelligence Agency. Now, the Central Intelligence Agency really got started about 1947. And the Dulles brothers, both of them, Alan and John Foster Dulles, put together a scheme. They were dealing with President Truman. Now, President Truman was a pretty sharp guy, but he was getting older. It was necessary for him to get advice on how the world was changing after World War II. So they used that opportunity to convince him that it's a whole new world. We're going to have to change some things in our democracy in order to keep us alive, because the communist threat is going to be bigger than Hitler. They convinced them. And they started off with executive action. Now, executive action, they said that there are people in the world that have to be taken out because one guy like Hitler can stir up a country so high that they can take over a continent. They can't let that happen. Truman agreed that they would be able to use assassinations to control the growth of communism. That lasted for some little while, and then he went back to Truman and he asked for plausible deniability. Now, that meant that they could lie about things. Truman didn't want to go along with that. So Truman didn't give him permission to do that, but what he did do was he went, and I'm talking about Dulles, went to the Washington Times and the Washington Post, New York Times, and told them that he had agreed on plausible deniability, which he hadn't. That upset him a lot. But anyway, it got voted in, and before he realized what happened. The start of controlling the news in the world, and specifically in the United States, is controlling the media. Dr. Goebbels had studied under a philosopher in Germany who believed in the concept that if you tell a lie and you tell it frequently and convincingly, and you keep doing it over and over and over, people will believe it. And so that was what he did with Hitler. And it worked. The Dulles brothers were basically doing the same thing. In order for that to be accomplished, they had to have somebody running the media. So enter Frank Wisner. Now, Frank Wisner had been with the OSS, and he had, some intelligence background, and he came up with this concept called the Mighty Wurlitzer. And what it was we would put people, different countries of the world, and their best newspapers, and help control the editing, what was said about the United States, and what was going to be said that was adverse to the United States and get that changed. And then here in this country, they became extremely close to people who owned media outlets. The Luces, Claire Booth Luce and her husband Henry Luce, they owned Time magazine and they owned Life magazine. And on the day of the assassination, before dark, they had purchased the Zapruder film to take it off the market so nobody could see it. It was then worked on and worked over and, get your best information from Doug Horn. He has some great information on where you can find the best version of it. Wisner was really good. He was really good. He was controlling things. And they started to put people in good positions, like they were friendly with the Graham family, who owned the Washington Post. The Graham family, they had the opportunity to hire an agent who had a good background in journalism as the editor, and that was Ben Bradley. Now, it's a big world, but it's a small town, Washington. He ended up marrying the sister, or maybe was already married to the sister of Mary Penshaw Myers. She was his sister-in-law. Then the other gentleman who got really into the media was Mary Penshaw Myers' husband. They called him the Cyclops. He had one eye missing. His time in the Pacific as a Marine, lost an eye. Cord Meyer. And anyway, she was eventually killed, and he knew about it. He knew it was coming because a lady had asked him that maybe he should talk to his wife. She was the wife of another agent. And she said, maybe you should talk to Mary, even though they were divorced. Because in the little meetings that the wives' clubs had for coffee clashes or whatever they are, they would talk about the agency, and she would say some things that were a little shocking to some of the other wives. And so with that approach to Cord Meyer, he then went to Angleton, and next thing you know, they killed her. She was killed in Washington, D.C., down on M Street, below M Street. There's a towpath where the Chesapeake Canal runs. I made a big mistake years ago by saying it was the Erie Canal because I'm from Pittsburgh. Canal's a canal, and that's not important which one it was. She was shot while taking her daily constitutional on the towpath right within sight of M Street.
After, to be clear, that was a walk. Sometimes people refer to the daily constitutional as their bowel movement for the day.
Oh, really?
Let's make it clear that she was not having a bowel movement on the path.
Should I say that?
Well, I shouldn't say that, but let's make it clear that she's on
Now, Now, when I say constitutional, I'm talking about a walk that she took every day. Within minutes, there was as many as 19 CIA agents in the area, as well as some D.C. police people. And one agent saw the gun, which had been thrown into the water, but was sticking out a little. And so a step ahead of a Washington police officer, he reached over, got in the way where the officer couldn't see it, and then reached over and grabbed it, stuffed it in his belt. It was a hit done by the CIA, and and known about by the top people that they were going to do it. And interestingly enough, I believe that Mary Pinchot, sister was in Japan, I think, at the time. However, she came back right away, of course. Mary was a artist of some style. She had a little studio that was in the garage of Ben Bradley and his wife. Within an hour, Ben Bradley had made his way to that art studio to see if he could find her diary. When he got there, he was met inside the gallery by James Jesus Angleton, who had the same idea. And so they looked and looked and looked, and they finally found it. Now, they said it was destroyed, but a lot of people that are in the know believe it wasn't destroyed. Nobody's seen it being destroyed. And anyway, someday that might come out and answer a lot more questions. The continuation of Cordmeyer and Wisner controlling radio stations, controlling newspapers and magazines, controlling stuff overseas as well as here. And it worked exactly like Dr. Goebbels showed Hitler out how to do it. And that's why today we have agents who are embedded in every news agency. We have agents that are placed in universities to control what the learning of history is about. We don't know how many there are, but we know there's an awful lot of them. They basically have a guidebook on what to and what not to teach. That's one of the reasons that nothing's coming out. We also have agents who are reading all the manuscripts before they come out. And so if there's something in the manuscript they don't want to be published, it won't be published. There are even agents that have been acting like they are JFK researchers. Now, it's my opinion that the two things that are holding back this word from getting out are, number one, the CIA, and number two, the cabal, and I call them a cabal now, of people who've become famous. Even after 62 years of failure, they don't have any answers, but they're the people that the government is looking to as the experts. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to say that they all make money at this. I don't know what the government pays them to do this. Maybe nothing, but the fact that they have podcasts, the fact that they write books, the fact that they write articles, all these things have a additional revenue that keeps the money rolling into them. And the day that people realize it was all just a big game, they won't make money anymore. And so that's the two things that I think are really keeping people from getting the truth. I might also add to that people on YouTube. I've seen people on YouTube who supposedly are experts at this thing. They call themselves experts, and they're professional. Some of them are professional media people. They own media companies, and they do this for money. At any rate, they are not helpful. Let's put it that way. They're not helpful. And another one, probably more important than all the rest, is the agents who pretend to be, I call them pseudo-psychologists, who continue to come up with different conspiracy theories. Because the more conspiracy theories that come out, the more it confuses the general population and makes it harder. People just lose interest in it. And so with that, I would say to you that if you are interested in learning more about the Central Intelligence Agency and how it works, there's a number of books. But this book, The Mighty Wurlitzer, is a very good one. Stuff on intelligence is sometimes dry, but they make a point. They make a point. And from time to time, if there's books that are interesting, I will bring them up and show them to you. Because my book isn't the only book in the world that'll help people. Thank you.